Woo! Hey everybody, Jim Salmons here, and welcome to the Kayak Fishing Show live. Brought to you by, as always, by all our great sponsors scrolling across the bottom there, and of course, Ballast Point Brewing Company. And in love of our San Diego Padres, I'm going to have the Swingin' Friar Ale. And you guys ever get one of these bottle openers before? Back in the day, when we used to go down to Mexico, you would buy a case of beer. I was probably too young to buy beer at the time, but they would give you one of these bottle openers. And I've had this since I was in my teens, and it says Corona on it. And it still works. That is a good one. That's a good refreshing beer. Hot day. So, I think the last time I tried to do a live, I was at ICAST, and the sound wasn't working, and it was terrible. So with all the changes that have been going on with my show, I've just been so preoccupied with other things. I haven't been able to come on here live, and I love doing these things. It's always fun. But like I said, just been very preoccupied. So with that said, I figured I would give you guys kind of a rundown before we get into our normal episode stuff and show the old episode. I thought I'd kind of give you a rundown what's going on, maybe because people have been asking me what the story is. So, just to be honest with you, let you know what's happening. So I've been with my producer, Heliconia, for 14 years. We did our DVDs, the Kayak Fishing Game On DVDs years ago. And then that morphed into doing the TV show, which aired on WFN and then Fox Sports the last season. And so we've been on TV for 12 years. And great relationship. These guys are still my very good friends. But as things go, sometimes relationships can grow a little stale. We had different visions of the direction of the show. And I had some frustration over the last year or so. And just before ICAST, we made a decision amicably to part ways. So with that said, then making some decisions for myself. Am I going to keep the show going? Am I going to find a new producer? Am I going to self-produce? Am I going to go to WFN, the old network we were on? There's also some options digitally. Waypoint TV is very, very interesting to me. So these are all things I've been working on and trying to decide. I had to build a new website. I've never built a website in my life, and I had to throw one together the other day. And that is the kayakfishingshow.com. So that's where we're kind of sitting right now. I've got meetings with Waypoint TV. I had with them this morning, which was very, very interesting and informative. I've got one coming up with WFN. And it's all a matter of just figuring out that back end stuff that I wasn't really used to dealing with. I was used to dealing with sponsors, everything else, and being the host of the show and setting up locations and doing all that. But dealing with the networks, the really back end stuff was not my area. So that's all stuff I've got to learn if we're going to continue doing the show. My plan is to continue doing the show. But bottom line, it comes down to, producing it. Financially, it's got to make sense. It's got to make sense financially. So that's all stuff I'm working on right now. So if you're wondering why we haven't been doing a whole lot of posting, it's basically because I've been sitting at this stinking computer dealing with that stuff instead of going fishing. But on a positive note, every one of these sponsors you see scrolling across the bottom, plus some new ones, are on board. All my old sponsors, every one of them that I met with at ICAST, said they are still on board with us to do the show. They support what I'm doing, so that's pretty exciting. And it was a nice pat on the back that they like what I've been doing and they want to stick with us. So That's good. So look for new stuff coming in the future, and I will keep you all posted on what's going on with that. We only did 3 episodes this last season, a combination of COVID mainly, and over on Fox Sports. And then the last one is actually airing this Saturday, the 14th. And so I have the teaser of that. I figured I would share that with you. I posted a little bit earlier, but if you hadn't seen it, I wanted to share that little teaser with you and then go over some other stuff. And then we'll get to this old episode on the back half of this show. Right off the bat, Liam, thanks for joining us and thanks for welcoming me back. Like I said, I really enjoy doing these things and I've missed it. And I can't tell you how many times I've kind of sat at my computer and go, okay, I need to do a live show. And it's just, I just get pulled some other direction and distracted or whatever the case may be. So thanks for sticking with us. Roy, cheers to you as well. Cheers. And Bill, thanks for joining us. And I do appreciate any questions. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that, advice, anybody in that producing end of things want to offer advice, I really would love to hear it, because again, that back end of stuff is stuff that's going to be a little bit newer to me. I mean, I have been in this game for 14 years, but I know what I know. I know what I'm good at, and the other end is all stuff I still need to learn. So again, if you guys have questions, comments, we're potentially looking for a new producer, not necessarily. I think more leaning towards self-producing, videographers, editors, all that stuff is all stuff that we got to talk about. So again, if you guys are in that world and you want to talk, let me know. Anyway, let's take a look at my final episode with Heliconia Press, which again, if you are looking for it on Bally Sports nationally, it's not listed under the show name. And this was one of those things that kind of led to the fall apart with my producer. It's not listed under my show name. It's listed under Heliconia Reels. So if you're looking for my show on Bally Sports this week, it is listed under Heliconia Reels. So with no further ado, let's put this up. This week on the Kayak Fishing Show, we are in Florida visiting my good friend, Patrick Sebile of a band of anglers. He's taking us all over trying different spots. Going to do some freshwater, going to do some saltwater. We're going to catch some fish. Here we go. That's a good way to start. So that was that. Just a little quick teaser of the episode. If I'm sure you've seen Patrick Sebile here on my show many times. Super informative guy, really fun to hang out with. If you fish with him, you just learn so much, and that's what I always take away from a trip with Patrick. Even though it was a trip to Florida, and Florida historically has not been very good to me fishing wise, weather wise, but this trip was good. And like I said, we got to hang out with Patrick and my buddy Bart Swab, who helped us by bringing the kayaks and just hanging out and fishing with us. So it's a good episode. I have seen it, but it was my last one with Heliconia Press. So with that being said, there was some other things I felt like sharing with you. It's actually pretty funny is the other day, around ICAST time as a member of media, we get bombarded with emails from manufacturers showing us their product, wanting us to stop by. Oftentimes we'll get deliveries, a little sample of a lure or a spool of line. I've even gotten reels this way, usually a really, really cheap reel, and they will send it to you. So after ICAST this year, I got the weirdest one I've ever received. And it was actually from Shimano. I used to fish for Shimano many, many, many years ago. But this was something they sent out to media. And I just thought it was really odd. It was a box. It was like this big. And I'm like, ooh. And it says Shimano on the outside. I'm like, ooh, this is going to be cool. I'm going to get some cool stuff. Well, what they sent was I got 3 notebooks which, I mean, that comes in handy. Nice notebook. I got 6 dog leashes, which we are donating to I mean, although I have 4 dogs, I don't need these leashes. We're donating those to a local dog rescue. I got 3 lanyards. I got 6 hats that all say, I think it was Therese. Yeah, they all said Therese on them. And I got about 1,000 Shimano stickers. It was just an odd thing, I thought, to send. I mean, I like free stuff. I like free stuff as much as the next guy. But dog leashes? I mean, I'm a dog lover. It just seemed weird for a fishing company to send me dog leashes. So anyway, there was that. Another thing I received from one of my great sponsors, NRS, is their new skeleton glove. Kind of cool. They actually snap together so you don't lose them. I actually wore these in Louisiana because Jameson had some that I could borrow from him. Because when you're on that blue sky and you're steering it all the time, it's actually all sore on your hand. And I'm not kidding, man. I'm not getting any younger. The back of my hands get baked in the sun. So I've never liked wearing gloves while fishing or while paddling. And I really liked these. So if you're thinking about wearing gloves while paddling or fishing, these NRS skeleton gloves were super, super comfortable. I mean, barely noticeable, and didn't intrude with your fishing at all. They do have the one stripping pad on the finger, so if you're fly fishing. So those are pretty cool. I wanted to share that with you. Another company that I met while ICAST, which is a potential partner of ours, but I told them that I was, I'm not going to be jumping on board with anybody until I've actually used the product. And it is this company here. Actually, it might show better on one of these. Well, whoa, my green screen is getting it all funky. Anyway, so it's this company, CSR, Catch Some Relief. It's basically CBD. They have a pain cream. I'm not getting any younger, so I'm always in pain. So anything like this, they have a pain stick. So the cream is very much a lotion, so a much thinner. Pain stick is very dense, like a deodorant stick. The 8-hour patches, which I'm pretty interested in, to put across my lower back, so my lower back really gets going. And then they had these boost capsules, which say energy, relief, and focus. So it is an anti-inflammatory kind of thing. So, but it is CBD. I'm all about that. I'm very interested. I haven't used any of this other than the cream. I tried it on my shoulder, which was bothering me. It did give me some relief. But again, I told them I wasn't going to jump on board with them until I really tested everything, make sure that it is what they say it is. I mean, I don't promote any products I don't believe in. And so I will keep you guys informed on whether or not this is stuff that is working for me anyway. It is CBD. It is THC free. So kind of interesting stuff. If anybody of you guys have tried that and have some feedback, I'd love to hear it. Albert says, looking forward to this. I miss your shows. Thank you, Albert. I'm going to try and get back to this on a regular basis. David Devine, I like stickers. Yeah, a lot of people like stickers. I just didn't need 1,000. That's an exaggeration. But I mean, it literally was a stack this big of Shimano stickers. So, I mean, I just don't need that many stickers. Camille, great to see you at ICAST as well. It's always good to see my old friends and get to catch up. That was the worst thing, is like we didn't have ICAST last year. So many people that you only get to see that once a year. It was so nice to be back at ICAST this year and see so many people. I guess it was the COVID hotbed. I know some people that got COVID while there. I'm not pro or anti-vaccine, but because I know I'm going to be at these type of things and I know I'm going to be traveling, I did get the vaccine. I didn't get COVID. So, like I said, it's everybody's personal choice whether you're going to wear a mask or get the vaccine or whatever. But I'm glad I decided to get one because my roommate at the hotel got COVID. I'm not naming any names. What is this? Bill Edwards, I'm not in that field, but I'll learn it for a fishing trip with you. Okay. Oh, you'll learn it. I imagine you're talking about the producer stuff that I was talking about before. So, yeah, well, like I said, I mean, I'm looking for help. I'm looking for information. I mean, like I said, it's all learning for me. That back end. Luckily, like I said, my parting with Heliconia, like I said, we are still great friends. They've been nothing but supportive since that fact. I keep all the assets, the Kayak Fishing Show Facebook page, Kayak Fishing Tales, our YouTube channel. So all that's going with me. And they've been very helpful and giving me information on what I need to deal with the networks and contracts and everything else. So, like I said, this was not a bad parting. I mean, it certainly wasn't what I was intent on happening. But I also didn't want to be frustrated any longer. Like I said, I've been frustrated for the last year or two. So, it was good. It was good. And they are very supportive. So, nothing negative to say about them, that I will say in public anyway. So, Robert, tight lines to you, Jim. Thank you so much, Robert. I appreciate it. And thank you for guys that are watching over on Kayak Fishing Tales. Again, I'm pretty excited about that being in my hands now. I plan on doing more with Kayak Fishing Tales now that I will have more control over the YouTube channel. And like I said, I want to get back to doing this. I want to get back to traveling. I have been talking to some people about getting some trips put together already. So, yeah, scheduling, but like anything else, it's all financial. And so we need support of tourism and all that to make trips happen. So hopefully we can get back to it soon because I'm excited. The fishing here has been good here in San Diego. Bluefin tuna, very close. I saw a guy posted yesterday off of Dana Point. Caught a pretty nice sized bluefin tuna about 3 miles off the beach on his kayak. I hadn't heard of any off the kayaks yet this year, and that was the first one. So that's pretty exciting. I mean, 3 miles off the beach in Dana Point, bluefin tuna from the kayak. But like I said, they're very close boat wise. Like I said, I've been so locked up with all of this stuff. I haven't been fishing at all. And so I actually was working on our boat and plan on getting out this week. Just get out on the water. I need to get out on the water. So anyway, that was kind of it on what I wanted to go over. Again, if you have questions, comments, feedback, I would love to hear it. With that, the episode I was going to run today is from back in season 8, episode 6. Like I said, we've been on the air for 12 years. So in this episode, I was up in Canada, and I actually was fishing with Brock Zeman, who does the theme song for my show. And he's friends with Will Richardson, who is my videographer. And they had used one of Brock's songs in my show called Rotten Tooth. And I always really liked it. And I was like, Will, man, along that same feel and vibe, if you can get Brock to do a theme song for the show, that would be so cool. And after doing our show for several years, we finally got him to do it. And so the theme song for the show, I'm sure you've all heard it because I play it opening all these shows, is by Brock Zeman. And we got to fish with Brock, and he was a super cool dude and really, really fun to hang out with and fish with. So for no further ado, I'm going to bring up the episode. And I don't know why I did it that way. There we go. and let's let her roll. And again, please, if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, shoot them my way. I'll be happy to answer them, and on any aspect of kayak fishing.
This week on Jackson Kayak's Kayak Fishing Show, Jim is hooking up with the guy that puts the tunes to our casts, Brock Zeman. Brock and Jim are headed to fish on a secluded lake stacked with Canadian largemouth, dying to eat a few good frogs.
Word to the wise, if your mama ain't taught you, don't stand in front of a man and a fish he ain't caught yet. Honey, if the world calls me, tell him I'm fishing. I'm going fishing. Where am I headed? Where am I headed? Where am I headed? Wouldn't you like to? Where am I headed? Where am I headed? Where am I headed? Wouldn't you like to go fishing? I'm going fishing. Woo!
Today, I have the pleasure of fishing with the guy who does the theme song from our show, Brock Zeman. I am so stoked to do this, just to hang out with you, man, because I love your music, and to be able to fish with you for a day. I'm glad you can join us up here.
Thanks for asking me out, man. It's nice that we're going in my neck of the woods, too.
Right. So Brock doesn't have a whole lot of experience kayak fishing, so we're going to be giving him a little instruction on what he needs to do, but mainly just go out there and have some fun.
That's what I intend on doing. Let's not go swimming today.
There you go. That's a good way to start, brother. What is that, your second cast?
Yeah.
Jesus, dude, that's a great fish. Second cast of the day.
Yeah, not bad.
Look at that bass. Oh my gosh. That's some good guiding right there.
That's what it was. Of course. So obvious.
The main instructions that I always give people that you always want to remember. Always just remember, where your head goes, your body will follow. So keep your head down the center line of the kayak. Never reach for anything. Okay. If you have a fish on, bring it to the side of the boat. You can reach right down the side of the boat. If you have a weed on your line, don't reach out there. Bring it into the boat. So everything comes to the center line, and you're fine. Got myself a nice little bass on the pivot frog.
It's funny that we're here because I recorded my record just down the road, my first ever record, in a studio here owned by Randall Prescott from the Family Brown. And which is also cool because Randall also makes fishing lures.
That was awesome.
Oh no, I think I lost him. Yeah, I did. Damn, you nailed it though. I grew up here. I feel comfortable here. I like the people. It's kind of a strange little nook in the world, and it's always nice to come back to.
Probably one of the biggest mistakes people tend to make is in that respect, and I will just show you this, and that's fighting the equipment. So if you're landing a fish or even just have a weed on there, just always give yourself a rod's length of line so you don't have a bend in the rod as you're trying to take a fish off. If you give yourself a rod's length of line, you can just tuck the rod up underneath your arm, use two hands, you got slack line, you're not fighting the rod. As opposed to here, where as soon as you grab the fish, you're doing this. Where if that slips, it's doing that, which might be into your hand or your face or your guitar fingers. You know, you don't want that.
It's hard not to take a cast every now and then. It's another nice one. Have you ever had a guest hooked here?
Yeah, you know, I actually have never had anybody with, well, no, we did. We had Jamie Bastilli had a hook go in his hand from a muskie.
Did he have to go to the hospital?
Yes, he did.
Oh, okay. Well,
But
we're not going to have a repeat.
We're
of
not
that
going to
today.
have that.
These are weedless hooks.
Yeah. So we won't have any problems. So those are really, I mean, right off the bat, the most basic things to keep you in the boat and to keep you from getting stabbed. Well, great place to fish, but the wind is really blowing us across here. So we're going to run back up to the vehicle, slap on the power pole. I'll be able to fish this area a lot more efficiently without getting blown across the water. The cool thing is it takes like 2 minutes to throw the thing on the boat. That's that. None of business.
So that, again, this was up in Canada. It's right near my producer. We tended to go up there about once a year and shoot in that area. And there's so much good fishing in Canada. If you've not been up there, you know, there's just so much good fishing. There's so much water. I mean, look at that picture right there. And whether it's smallies or largemouth, pike, muskie, I love going up there. It's just such a beautiful place, all over Canada. Just go the right time of year when you're not going to get eaten alive by mosquitoes or black flies, and it's pretty wonderful. And I highly recommend visiting Canada.
Word to the wise, if your mama ain't taught you. Don't stand in front of a man and a fish he ain't caught yet. Too many rats in the race, too many cooks in the kitchen. Oh, honey, if the world calls me, tell 'em I'm fishing. I'm a-going fishing.
I take my theme song wherever I go.
Depending on the situation, it's sometimes helpful to cut the tube into sections.
So Brock,
May offer
Yeah.
the song Rotten Tooth. That's the first song that really grabbed me that I heard from you.
My left shoulder. It make me jump every time I see myself in the mirror.
There's just one thing that'd make that song better.
And
And this isn't really a question, this is a statement.
Yeah, this is. I was just about to say that's not how a question works. Let's hear it.
So you change the lyrics up. It's just 2 words from spider tattoo to kraken tattoo.
Kraken tattoo, huh?
Got a kraken tattoo on my left shoulder.
What's the biggest fish you've caught in a kayak?
Well, it's hard to say. The biggest fish I ever brought in and actually weighed was a 172-pound thresher shark.
There's one.
There you go. Keeps getting them on the edge.
Oh no,
They love to bury in that stuff.
he is down there, man. It's a bass. Wow, he is in there. Come on now. Got him.
2 pounds of bass, 5 pounds of weeds.
Yeah.
That's a 7-pound fish.
There you go. Well, I've just been casting along the lily pads and along the weed beds, and they seem to be hitting it pretty good. This guy's another one, kind of like the last one too. Nice size, nice fish. Gonna let him go.
So, I always carry this Zappa Gap with me. basically super glue. And with something like the way we're fishing with these frogs, we're using these hooks that have this plastic pin that goes into the nose of the frog. And as you're casting, and a lot of times if you get caught in the weeds and that, or when you hook a fish, that pin will pull out of the nose. And after a few fish, that starts to just slip out constantly. So you're casting, it'll slip out. So by adding a little bit of super glue onto that pin, so that's going to give this that basically staying power. It's not going to pull out every time I need to set the hook. The setup I've got here is just a 15-pound Seaguar fluorocarbon leader, short to 20-pound Seaguar thread lock braid. And that's what I've been using here. Oh, that's not a bad bass. Way back there in the weeds. There we go. Not huge, but a good fish, way, way back there in that heavy cover. So nice to be able to fish these frogs. So weedless, so you can fish this stuff. Oh, just fun fish here. Let this guy go. Man, they're strong. They take off like a shot. Nice. Remember, give yourself a rod's length of line. Makes things a lot easier.
Yes, I'm hearing that now as I'm not doing it. Not a bad little guy there. Back home, buddy. Hey.
So far, rookie Brock Zeman has been kind of kicking my butt this morning. Those 2 fish and 2 casts are going to help me catch up a little bit. Man, you got to hit them hard. You got to have that drag locked. If you can, you just skip them across the stuff, because otherwise they dive into this heavy cover and you just bring back 10 pounds of weeds. So, oh, that's fun. That is fun stuff right there. Bye-bye.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, you know. Like I've certainly had worse jobs, you know, and it's fun work to do. And I like meeting the people, and I tend to get a bunch of emails about the songs from, you know, people who fish from kayaks here and there. It's been really fun.
All right, let's go catch up with Brock. Power pole up.
I fish, yeah, less these days than I used to, but my dad was obsessed with fishing too, and he taught me how to do it. And I remember the first time I could fish on my own, I'm gonna do this all the time. And it's just wonderful being outdoors, and it's peaceful. Yeah, I thought I'd just come up over here once again, just trying the edge of the weeds. That one I put a bit into the lily pads, and this guy hit it right away. That's like almost like the same size as the first one, I think.
So I just want to talk a little bit about actually the technique we're using, you know, to get these fish. So we're using these rage tail frogs, mustad hook. I added a couple little weights on it to keep the nose down for me a little bit. To keep these things as weedless as possible, you want to kind of skin the hook, so you can see the hook is right there. We just pull that back a little bit and then bury it into the plastic.
Let's see if this will go. All right, I feel confident.
These frogs sink, and in this kind of cover, you really don't want to let them sink too much. We're just making as long a cast as we can, looking for holes, looking for pockets, or even just over the thick mats. We've had bass come straight up through this stuff. So you want to keep it moving. Long cast, and then it's a nice steady retrieve. When it's hitting the water, you should be getting a little bit of a bubble trail from that tail.
That one I have. More fish. All right, buddy. Hey.
Oh, there we go. Oh, did he go? I don't know if I still got him. If he just transferred me over to the stinking weeds. Same freaking thing.
You know, I swear that Jim is cursing after he loses a fish, just so you folks at home don't see him losing a fish. It's happened like 5 times in a row. I'm just saying.
Oh, right next to me.
Nice one.
Oh, a slob. Oh, that's a slob. Yeah!
Nice one.
That one hit right next to the kayak. Oh, that was awesome. He wanted all of that. I don't even know if I still got a fish on or not. That was that same thing. Went straight under that. I think he's still there. Yeah, he's still there. He's just wrapped in 10 pounds of crud. It's another good fish, dude. I usually have 20 pounds of stuff on the line. Another really nice bass, though. Yeah!
Wow.
Another nice fish. Man, getting him out of this heavy cover is just crazy. Well, you got to be fishing that Seaguar Canton braid. You're not going to cut through this stuff without it. That makes for a tough fight. Let's let this guy go. That guy, I mean, he went straight into that. But he, or she, I was able to hang on to. Good fish, good fun.
So yeah, the largemouth, particularly, you know, up in Canada, where it's quite cold, so that's not nearly as long of a growing season. So a big fish up there obviously is not comparable to a big fish, you know, say in Florida or here in California. But one of the cool things is actually Brock is sitting on that bridge there. This lake we were fishing on was totally inaccessible. I mean, you're not boating it. You're not walking it because it was totally surrounded with shrubs. The only way you could fish it was either from this little bridge or drop a kayak over the side of the bridge like we did. So it just was just not a real heavily fished area. And as you can see, we caught a lot of fish, you know, and I'm not a bass fisherman at all, but if I go to a bass lake where you're catching a lot of fish and you're just having fun with somebody that you're having a good time with, that's all right with me. And we had a great time fishing up there. It's kind of what the cool thing about the kayaks, especially, you know, if you can go back to some of the lighter kayaks that you can just lift and throw into some place like that, it just makes it so nice. Brock was fishing out of a Kilroy, I believe. And I mean, that's a pretty easy boat to schlep around and just a fun boat. Oops, got my controls on the wrong side.
What the heck, Brock? That's Chad's song.
I get the shows confused sometimes.
Yes, Brock does the theme song for Chad Hoover's show as well.
I don't know if I still got it or not. Yeah, I can still see the fish pinned on there, but he's literally pinned onto the lily pad. There you go. Look at that. Woo, another nice fish. Man, today has been so much fun. So I got that ridgetail frog and a Mustad soft plastic hook. It's got that spear that goes into the end of the frog, and I just put a little bit of super glue on there to keep that thing from getting pulled off. It's been just a deadly combination today. Brock and I have just been slaying these nice quality fish, man. No, they're not a giant Florida bass, but for up here, that's a really good quality fish. Oh, nice fish.
Oh, come on. Wow. This fish here is gems. Missed him twice, but I got him now. I think that's bigger than the first one I got. It's a nice one.
Nice fish.
That one was nice.
Well, you think about it, they're having to follow something that's moving quickly over the top of weeds, in and out of light and shadow and plant to water, and then the refraction. How are they lining up to nail that thing?
And do they ever nail it? It's crazy.
Coosa HD, for me, is probably the perfect boat for the stuff we've been doing on this trip, the rivers and smaller bodies of water. It handles those rapids so well, so stable, very easy for a stand-up platform for sight casting to these bass. We're not putting in a lot of miles paddling, but it still paddles relatively well for a boat of this style. For a boat that's this stable, honestly, it paddles really, really. This kind of fishing, it's so important to be able to get up and sight cast. Woohoo! Man, nothing better than top water.
Shimmy, shimmy, shake, shake, like a mister twister through the lake. Reel it in, even cast. These summer days move like molasses. Heat's getting to my brain. I swear I saw the devil sitting in the shade, nodding in and out of sleep. Fishbone's tangled in his goatee. Said won't catch nothing in this heat lest you sink it to the bottom. When they ain't biting, can't do nothing but just stare at your bobber and sweat, sweat, sweat. Oh, you just sweat, sweat, sweat. That's all there is to do. Sweat, sweat, sweat. Oh, when it's too hot for moving, best thing you can do is just sweat.
Man, what a great way to wrap up our trip to Canada. Had a fantastic time fishing with Brock Zeman here today. Wide open fishing, great trip. I got to go jump on a plane, head home. I hope to see you guys again next week on the Kayak Fishing Show.
Well, there you go. That was Brock Zeman. Like I said, you can find a lot of his stuff on YouTube. I don't know what the name of his channel is, but Zubaz. Anyway, like I said, that song, that the first one that I heard that I really liked was Rotten Tooth. And oops, I did that on accident. I'm going to show you that video, because like I said, it was the first song that I heard of his that really got me going. It was kind of in that episode a little bit, but like I said, just fun music. And I always like the vibe of it. That last one he sang there, that sweat, sweat, sweat. I mean, it's just good stuff. So here's Rotten Tooth. Oh, you know what? I may have not hit the right button. me try this one more time. I forgot to hit the share audio. They hide that little button on me. Okay, here we go.
I got a spider tattooed on my left shoulder. I jump every time I see myself in the mirror. Well, Gimmy's my middle name. And one part Judas and another part Cain. First step I took led me to the wrong side of town. I'm the only rotten tooth in my family's mouth. Yeah, I'm the only rotten tooth in my family's mouth. I got a chip on each shoulder and a monkey on my back. I'm the only regret my daddy has. Every step I take, it lands on a crack. You know my mama's always bitch about the pain in her back. The day that I was born, it rained like hell, and I'm the only rotten tooth in my family's mouth. The only rotten tooth in my family's mouth. Take more than pliers just to pull me out. I'm on the shady side of my family tree. The crooked little branch that just wouldn't grow straight. A little grease fire that you can't put out. Yeah, I'm the only rotten tooth in my family's mouth. Black clouds fill the sky wherever I travel. And my footsteps, they sound like a judge's gavel. Well, hell spit me out and heaven don't want me. 'Cause I'm mean as a rattlesnake and twice as ugly. There's a on my stone when they lay me down. I'm the only rotten tooth in my family's mouth. I'm the only rotten tooth in my family's mouth. Take more than pliers just to pull me out. I'm on the shady side of my family tree. Crooked little branch that just wouldn't go straight. Little grease fire that you can't put out. I'm the only rotten tooth in my family's mouth.
So there you go. That's Rotten Tooth. They said that was the first song I heard by Brock that we had actually used during an episode a long time ago. And he said I really liked it. And we got Brock to do the theme song for the show. And like I said, then we got to film with him during this episode, which was really fun. As I think you saw, it's not big game fishing that I normally like to do, but if you get on a lake where the fish are really biting, I don't care what it is, you're having some fun. So Bill says, fun trip. I thought I'd see a big pike coming in. Yeah. And that's a fact, man. A lot of times when you're up in those lakes up in Canada, you kind of have a hard time avoiding the big pike oftentimes. And I don't think we caught a single pike in that lake. So most times, like I said, I've been on trips up there where it's all pike, 100% pike. And I love pike. Some people don't like them, but I love pike fishing. The top water when they blow up is so much fun. Hey, Nicholas, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it, man. So there you go. That's the episode. Again, if you have any thoughts on the direction of the show, any insight, if you're in that biz, of course, we're always looking for new sponsors and that sort of thing. So anybody knows anything like that can help us out to keep this show going, I would sure appreciate it. Until next time, I hope you can get out on the water. And if you do go out on the water, just please remember, always wear your PFD and keep your paddle right side up. Y'all take care.